Welcome to Clickbait. Hi, how are ya? This is the show for social and digital media enthusiasts. Hopefully you've been listening week after week. This is episode 7? Question mark, exclamation point. I'm looking at my producers, which is my lucky number. So I'm feeling good about today. What we do every single week is we scour the internet. We look for interesting articles in the social, digital, and technology space that we feel like you, and you might be a brand manager, you might be an advertising executive, or maybe you're just someone interested in social because you spend most of your time swiping and tapping. If you are any of those people, we find articles that we think you're going to care about. And we talk about those in the week in review. That's just 5 really important articles, and we talk about it in less than 7 minutes. So you guys are going to be caught up fully in a very short amount of time. Then we're going to dive deep into one of those subjects, but we do it with a guest, an expert. And this week we're talking to a super successful YouTuber. So stay tuned to that. We're going to play a game. We always like to have some fun. This episode, I feel like I have my coffee here. I'm going to take a sip. I'm just feeling extra excited. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to go a little bit rogue. So let's just jump right into the week in review. Okay. Throwing the paper in the air because I'm excited to dive right into this week in review. Topic number 1, uno. Apple has removed stalking from the app completely. I'm really excited about this one. A few weeks ago, we talked about the fact that Instagram has removed the follower tab. That was that tab that allowed you to stalk what everyone you're following liked and who they were following, and it was not ideal. It allowed creepy ex-girlfriends and boyfriends to just get all up in our business. That's gone. But the highly creepy app, Like Patrol, surfaced shortly after, and it allowed users to see what people were liking and commenting on the app, but it also enabled users, this is what makes it different and extra creepy, through the algorithm, to see engagement based off posts by a particular gender. So you could dive right into women. And a part of the algorithm even detected, are you ready for this, whether or not people were attractive. We have no idea here at True how an algorithm like that would work, but they did it. And so Instagram, round of applause for Instagram, sent a cease and desist letter to the Like Patrol in the end of October saying that the actual platform was going against their policy. I mean, there are a lot of things wrong with this. The idea that we are separating gender using an algorithm, deciding who's beautiful, and then letting people stalk in is just not something we're comfortable here. So the app is gone. Amazing. Topic number 2, Twitter has launched new options to follow specific topics. I am not going to dive deep into this particular topic because a lot of other social platforms have done this. This should feel like common news to us. On Instagram, we have the ability to follow a hashtag if we're really passionate about one, and then that content surfaces in your feed on a daily basis. Why did they do this? They want to increase engagement. They want us to see content we're more likely to engage with and feel like we're a part. We are actively choosing to see the content that surfaces for us. So the fact that Twitter did this, for most people, they hear this news and go, great. For me, I think business opportunities, wonderful. We know that people are now selecting that they want to see more pet content. That means Twitter can then sell to pet brands the ability to surface in the feed. So smart move on your part, Twitter. Whether or not you guys decide to use this new feature, totally on you. Topic number 3, in defense of oversharing on social media. Every single week for the last 10 years, there's been an article that surfaces somewhere on some platform that says influencers in particular are oversharing and it is obnoxious and it's unprofessional. I think a couple weeks ago we talked about when people shame others for being overly emotional. And so there's a lot of conversation about this particular topic, but why we wanted to talk about the Vice article that just came out is they're taking a different stance and we're quite impressed and excited about it. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I do want to dive deeper into the subject with our expert today, but basically the article is in defense of the negative perception, stating to accuse someone of oversharing implies there is a correct amount of personal information to share and a respectful manner in which to go about doing it. But this is obviously subjective. So who decides what's too much and what metric they are using? I don't have an answer for those questions. I don't think any of us do. The only thing I know to be true is it legal to say it? Then you probably can. And would someone be able to use the information to do you harm? Would they be able to, if you put your, bank details out into the world, steal all of your money? In that case, that's probably too much. You're oversharing in an inappropriate way. But if your choice to overshare is emotional, after a breakup, to give all the personal details of your experience, personally, I think that's totally fine. Topic number 4, fans are now directly monetizing YouTubers. I'm going to break that down because it's a weird sentence, but basically we now have the ability as fans to share super stickers. This is across 60 countries. YouTube has just launched it on Tuesday, but we have the ability to share these cute cartoon characters. Some of them are animated, some of them are not. If we are above the age of 18 and the content is unlisted, listed, and not private. And basically, you can now support financially the people that you love. So this puts a lot less pressure on YouTube to be funneling their budget and their money and their ad revenue to YouTubers. And we can feel in control of saying, you know what? I love me some Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. I'm going to upload a super sticker and I'm going to help them make some money because I'm so passionate about what they're doing. I think this is really cool. And our final topic number 5. What if there was a Tinder for making friends? I've thought about this. I was sure that I came up with this concept until yesterday when I received this briefing. But basically, social media has made a lot of us quite lonely. It's so weird when you feel a part of something massive and you see all these people and yet you feel isolated. But social media can do it for us. And there's a new company. It's called Friended. It just raised $500,000 in its first round, seed round from investors. And the app is basically just kind of cementing its spot that clearly this is something people want to pay attention to. Here's how the app works. You publicly share what's on your mind and how you're feeling, and people on the platform can respond directly. I think you can only post once every 8 hours or so. And they connect you with people in your area, basically. It's been found that 500,000 registered users with an average of 11 sessions per day, that means how many times they are going into the app, have frequented the platform, and they've engaged 2.5 million messages during a 1-month period. That's pretty darn impressive. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for new apps to join this ecosystem. As a social media expert, I'm getting, just a little bored of the 4 or 5 platforms we talk about every single day for the past multiple years. So with TikTok struggling a little bit in the PR space, I'm more than happy for Friended to take a big step up and do some good. I'm not going to waste any more time because I really want to get our expert in here. Are you guys ready? Let's do the deep dive. Today, we're going to do things a little bit differently for a couple reasons. First things first, we have our youngest guest ever at the age of 19. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
2, we're talking about YouTube, which we never do, which is strange because this is a podcast about social and digital media. And 3, I have just decided, I woke up this morning, I just want to have an authentic conversation.
I'm ready for an authentic
Bleep
conversation.
out there in the first 5 sentences of the episode.
Oh, stoked.
So instead of announcing you and talking about your history and what you've done and why you're in this chair, which is what we normally do, because this episode is all about going rogue and having authenticity.
Yep.
What's your name? Who the hell are you?
My name is Ben Gerrans. I am a YouTuber from Sydney, Australia. And it's pretty much it. 19-year-old kid, graduated school last year and make
Here
videos
you are.
for a living.
You're sitting talking to me.
Yep.
So take me back, if you can remember. Why and when did you get on YouTube?
I got on YouTube probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I started as a Minecraft YouTube channel.
No way.
Yeah, in like 2013.
Yeah.
I used to make videos with my brother and my next door neighbor. And we used to
just for fun.
Yeah. And we used to post gaming videos. And then I did that for like 2 years.
With success? Like, did it grow or was it just like 33 people, your mom, your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I got like 100 subscribers in like 2 years. And I was like, yes,
killing it.
I'm absolutely killing it. And I changed my channel to like, doing vlogs and stuff like that. Then grew a little bit more from there, got to like 10K. And then I stopped like 2 years ago while I was in HSC, and, like, finishing year 12. And then I just started up again this year. So
got it.
Yeah.
So I want to get into the nitty gritty of why someone would start to take something seriously.
Yep.
So you make a change, you decide I'm going to start vlogging, and I want you to just be honest. Is a part of it, I want to see if I can make it? I want to see if I can make content like other people, or is it just for fun?
With the vlogging, it's almost, for me, it's like I want to capture things that are going on in front of me. For example, like traveling to Europe with my best friends, and I want to be able to record it and look back on it in like years to come.
Yeah.
And we're already doing it. Like I recorded schoolies. I vlogged schoolies.
Yeah.
And now here and there, my friends and I just like watch the video and like,
Yeah.
I want to go back to schoolies.
It's a modern scrapbook. You can like pop on back into the past.
Like a photo album, but
Yeah.
like moving vlog form. Like,
were you
stuff
good?
actually.
Like, did you understand cameras? Did you learn about videography? Like, did you learn about that in school, or was this just raw?
I never learned about it in school, but I was always pretty interested in like videography and stuff like that. I've done like a fair bit of videography stuff. You know, I've filmed, you know, music videos and whatnot for friends, and it's something that I'm pretty interested in. So like, you know, cinematography and vlogging kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of quite the camera guy.
And YouTube seemed like the natural fit for you, or did you put yourself on a lot of platforms?
Well, last year it was all about Instagram, just because it was like the least time consuming while I was in year 12. Because I had to study pretty hard last year.
Yeah.
Hated it. But this year is like really, really, really cool. But yeah, YouTube is like been probably just the most applicable option, really. You know, sharing videos that you make yourself is pretty dope.
It's also the number 2 search platform in the world. It's owned by Google, one of the biggest companies in the world.
What's
I think
number 1?
Search platform would be like traditional Google.
Oh,
and
okay,
so
right.
because they own it, I mean, they really
Shit.
dominate the entire market, which is why when someone searches for something, it's why YouTube videos that are how-tos do so well, because most people are actually typing in questions, right? They're literally saying, how do you make a souffle? What do I do when I go on school? Or should I go on schoolie? And
How do I get my girlfriend to love me again?
yes, have you made that video?
Yeah, not yet, but maybe in like a few months' time.
Cool. So you transition to vlogging. It starts to become a little bit successful. When did you realize that it was going to work? Like, when did you realize it was real? When did it like switch in you that like, oh crap, people are watching me?
I don't know if it still has, really. Like I'm still, you know, keen to like keep it going, keep on moving to the next thing. I can't stop, otherwise, you know, it'll start to slow down. So I don't think there's been a point yet where I'm like, shit, like people are actually watching. But maybe if anything, like when I came back from overseas, because I was in Europe for 3 months. And then I came back, and then all these people, like when I would go out, would like come up to me and like even come up to my friends that were in the videos and be like, "Yo,
I know you
from the vlogs." So maybe that, if anything, like getting recognized in public a fair bit more than like before the trip, which is
pretty weird,
pretty
huh?
fun. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's like it's weird.
Yeah. Well, that's actually really interesting, because I did want to talk to you about. So in our week in review, we had a conversation about oversharing. And as someone who shares their life on Instagram, that's where I put most of my stuff on. I know that there is, without a shadow of a doubt, when you share or overshare or give a lot of truth and authenticity, people react so much more than face value, beautiful smile photo in front of a beach that's like, I love the waves.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. People want to see real shit. They don't really want to see like some cultivated image these days, because that's already been done. Yeah. You know, like everyone's tired of the just some fabricated life, because there's just like hundreds of thousands of these different, especially Instagram influencers that just like make their life seem perfect. But we all know, like in actual fact, that doesn't exist, the perfect life.
Is that a part of your thought process when you're deciding what to shoot, or do you just shoot your life?
Absolutely. I think authenticity is like really important. I think that's probably, you know, contributed to a bit of my success on YouTube, just because I'm quite authentic with my audience. I don't really try to hide much. And what also happens when you don't try to hide anything is like you can't really get exposed for anything either. Yeah. It's like all these different YouTubers that have been so fake have eventually got exposed with just like being shit people or doing stupid stuff. Yeah. But if you make all that information public, then you can't really get exposed for it. Exactly. It's like over. But yeah.
So you have your friends in a lot of your videos. Your partner has been in your videos. You making a decision to share your truth is one thing. sharing someone else's truth a
Yeah.
little different. Do you have to talk to them about it? Do you have to sit your girlfriend down and say, I want to make a video, and people are going to know your name potentially?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was like, I feel my friends, like, they're pretty chill with it. They always want to watch the videos before I post them, just to make sure I don't like post any videos of them doing stupid shit. Like in one video, I accidentally, I almost left in a clip of my mate's in the video.
Oh.
And he was watching it. He was like, yo.
That's my
cut
penis
that out.
in the video.
Yeah. So, yeah, they watch the videos that they're in before I post them, just to make sure there's nothing too raunchy.
Oh, that's good. That's what I think. A lot of people who are really concerned about the digital and social space are really worried that this content has the potential to live on far past where we currently are today. Yeah. And like full transparency, you're a perfect example of that. You're quite young. Yeah. You overshare. Yeah, and if you decided 10 or 15 years down the line, I want to be a politician, there's the potential that that might not work out for you because everyone would know everything. Now, the world is changing. Donald Trump is president of America and he had a lot of videos out there. Yeah. But I do think, you know, I have posted photos of my daughter who is quite young, she's 2 years old, topless, without thinking a single thing that it was a problem. Right. I think most of us in this room in Australia see little girls on the beach with their shirts off and think nothing. Like, we'll wait until she has breasts before we decide what she can or cannot wear. But Instagram has removed those photos. There's a policy. Only twice.
Wow. That's weird.
Because there are weird people out there. And so when you put information out there in the world, in your case, your friend's junk. Yeah. That lives on potentially forever, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to, I'm glad that you show them. I don't know that everyone does that.
You got to be careful. No, I make sure to show them. And, you know, if they didn't want to be in the videos, I wouldn't, you know, force them to be in them. But, you know, like, they're all pretty keen on it these days.
Sure.
They like it. And I think they like a bit of the attention they get from it as well.
I mean, of course. No, absolutely. Yeah. Have you ever regretted posting anything online?
Have I ever? I don't think so. There's nothing real. Oh, I could say I regret some of my old content, but like looking back 2 years down the track. But at the time, I didn't regret it.
Like from an artistic perspective, like that's not strong enough?
I'm just like, that's the most cringy shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Don't you think that's why people like I'm actually more interested in your evolution than just you being the same all the time. Yeah. Like I love knowing I'm a parent, so I follow other parents. Yeah, and as their family grows, I feel like I'm connected to them. Yeah, so if you break up with your girlfriend and you've always been authentic and I get to see you, that process, I feel more connected to you. But what I'm most interested in is you make a decision every day to share your authentic truth. And if something shit happens in your life, do you have to decide not to share that, or are you just all in with your whole life?
I feel like I'm pretty all in. You know, like if my girlfriend and I happen to break up,
knock on wood that doesn't happen. Girlfriend listening to this episode,
Bianca. No, I think I would share it. Obviously, like, you know, take some time before I really just like hop on the internet. I'm not going to be like 8 hours later crying my eyes out, like, oh, she broke up with me. But you know, down the track, maybe wait a couple of weeks, couple of months, see, just like wait for it to ease out a little bit, and then share. But I feel like people would be getting the idea pretty young.
So I asked a bunch of people in my friendship group just yesterday questions they would have for YouTuber, and some of the things that come up most frequently are this: are the most successful people planning their content obsessively? Like, are you saying to yourself, okay, I'm going on this shoot and I need to really think about what I want to do, or I need to invite these specific friends, or I need to, like, do you think about it a lot?
Not so much inviting specific friends, but I think a lot of the most successful YouTubers are meticulously planning all of their content. You look at someone like Mr. Beast, who's just like taken over the whole YouTube realm. Yeah. And his content is absolutely just bang, bang, bang planned. And he's obviously got a team as well. And he must, you know, brainstorm ideas constantly to be able to keep up the flow and really stay on top of it.
And you don't have to do that? You're not doing it now?
I definitely do that. I don't have like a team behind me or anything like that.
Not
so
yet.
It's mostly just like shit that comes into my head in the shower. Yeah. But yeah, no, like if I have an idea for a video, I definitely plan out like when I'm going to film it and how long it's going to take. And and like plan filming videos in advance. Yeah. For example, like I'm going to schoolies for like 2 days to do interviews.
Oh, cool.
Next week.
Nice.
And yeah, no, I'll make 2 videos out of that. I'll do the interviews and I'll also do like a vlog.
Yeah. So you had to obviously plan those interviews, like who are you going to talk to?
And then, you know, I had to, you know, plan all the gear that I'm gonna use. I got one of my mates coming up that's gonna help me film.
Sweet.
So yeah, no, it's all pretty planned out.
The second thing people ask is, do the comments mess with you? Like, does that run your life? Do you avoid it?
No, I definitely wouldn't say the comments run my life. Maybe if they were like overwhelmingly negative, they might have an impact. But for the most part, they're pretty positive. Like if someone leaves a negative comment, I kind of just don't really take too much notice because the positive comments far outweigh the negative.
Yep. But you read them, and like if people are really keen on a specific video, does that then make you want to make more of those? Like, do you think about it that way?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm always there like to try to, you know, put out content that my audience is going to like. Because if they're stoked on a video, then I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if they're really, really liking a video, like they really liked the videos I've been making with my girlfriend, so I'll probably, you know, make a couple more of them. So
nice.
Yeah.
Another question that comes up a lot, and this is one that you don't have to talk about in detail, but is just how you make money. So I'm imagining at some point in your success, when one of your videos did really well, finances became a part of what was possible for you.
Yeah. So I've never actually had a real job. So from the time where, you know, everyone gets a real job, that's when I started making money from YouTube and Instagram and stuff. And that first came from doing like kind of like social media related modeling.
Yep. People just reached out to you like in your DMs.
Yeah. And that's how I made my first money. And then, you know, brand deals scattered here and there. But now it's like brand deals, monetization, and the same like social media related modeling. And I also do like a bit of videography stuff, like off to the side.
So for people who don't understand what you mean by monetization, you're getting a small percentage when ads run before or during your videos.
So you get like $1 to $2 per 1,000 views. Yep, pretty much. And it's enough to get by, I guess. You know, if you're getting like 500,000 views a month, that's kind of like
a big chunk of cash. You can make a salary off of that.
Decent chunk of cash, yes. Especially when it's like, you know, one of the couple of things that you're doing.
So I'm guessing now, I mean, when you got more than 10,000 followers on Instagram, now you're at almost 60. Your inbox is probably kind of flooded with opportunities, like random people, small, big, large, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like, quite not flooded with opportunities, but there's definitely quite a few people reaching out.
How do you decide who to go with?
Whoever's going to pay me, really.
Really?
Also, I mean, like, and also like if I agree with like the brands, you know, I've been asked to do like men's protein powder. Yeah. That actually it makes your asshole looser.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, look, I'm not really going to need that, so I'm not really going to promote it.
Why does anyone need that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe I won't do that. Maybe it's not for me, but it could be for someone else.
Yeah. I mean, a big lesson I learned earlier on, and I'm nowhere near where you're at number-wise, is that when the money starts to come in, when people are like, will you do this post and I'll give you $500 for it, your instinct is to say yes, because it's $500 more than you had yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've had a couple moments in my Instagram career where I have regretted days, weeks later when I realized if your whole thing is authenticity, people can smell when you're inauthentic.
Yeah.
So if they can tell that you would never wear that, or you would never use that, or I have this whole thing about making sure that you're communicating with people, articulating when they are rubbing you the wrong way or speaking inappropriately to you. Absolutely. Especially with my children, I attempt whenever possible to get down to their level and speak to them face to face. So I had a product that separated children that I posted about. Oh, right. And so in retrospect, that didn't necessarily sit well with who people I put out into the world, my identity.
Absolutely.
Right? That's me. And so that, I'm guessing that must come across
Yeah.
in your day-to-day life.
I mean, like, I don't think I've done a brand deal that I don't really like, agree with it and actually don't use the product. So I've done a brand deal with Koala mattresses. I sleep on a Koala mattress now.
Yep.
I did a brand deal with Dunlop. I'm actually wearing the
Nice.
Dunlop
Good brand
shorts.
plug.
and if I do a brand deal with like a clothing company, like I do wear the clothes down the line, despite even if I post about it or not.
Yeah. Do you ever reach out to brands? Are you proactive ever, or do they just come to you?
I don't really reach out to brands.
Maybe you should,
Maybe
my
I
friend.
should.
Phase 2. Let's work together on that strategy.
Yeah, maybe I should. Like, there's definitely a lot of brands I would love to work with, like GoPro, for example.
I think what's endearing about you and your pages and the content that you put out is there is a totally chill, relaxed Aussie vibe, and I think that's why people are drawn to Aussies in social. It's like I'm not trying to be what you think I need to be with the right pose and the right smile. It's just like me being me. Yeah. And so I like that you don't reach out to brands. I like only get brand deals if I reach out to brands. So you and I are.
What do you do to reach out to brands? Because I mean, I could totally do with some more brand deals,
Oh, I mean, well, listen, let's flip the script. I'm the expert now. I mean, the reality is you know your audience better than anybody, right? You know the types of people who are coming to your page, and you also know your niche. Yeah. Like, I am this kind of guy in this age bracket who does these types of things. Yeah. And then what you just said is perfect. What clothing do I already wear? Yeah. What products do I already use? And then thinking about that brand and going, okay, GoPro. They're all about selling specific types of products. They're all about adventure. They're all about the next level. That's obviously aligned with what you do every single day. So you put together a one-pager. This is what most people would do. They put together a one-pager. It's like their media kit. This is who I am. This is how many followers I have. This is how old they are. Yeah, right. All that information. That's one page. And then the second page would be your proposal. And your proposal is, I'd create this type of content for GoPro, sponsored by you. It would cost you, GoPro, this much money for me to make the video, and here's what you'd get in return. Okay. So it's basically like, it's funny. Most of the brands already know that about you, so they're just coming to you. They see the amount of contacts that you get. But if you have your wish list, so what I did at the beginning of the year is I made my 10 brands that I would die to work with, and then I just individually create proposals for them, because at the end of the day, I think most people, this is my personal opinion, go into work situations, and this is work for you, this is your job, and they get a little bit nervous, or they get in the wrong mindset, which is, I need this. I need GoPro. The reality is GoPro needs you. It is the exact opposite. And so I go into the headspace of, like, I have a dream to work with a particular fashion brand for my children. They wear that clothing every single day. I'm going to tailor that proposal to make sure it is impossible for them to ignore. Okay, right. Like, this is the content that I am going to make for you. I love your brand, so this is so authentic. Like, this is something I use every single day. My audience is going to know that. This is a no-brainer. And then what you're going to get in return, which is the key for you, is high-quality content that you can use. Because at the end of the day, GoPro wants that. It's not enough for you just to make your stuff. Yeah, exactly. Look at this.
I've never even thought of that.
This is awesome. I'm glad we can help a little bit here.
I have no idea how to reach out to brands. I don't know. Maybe in the business end, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll just make videos and hope people come to me with.
I think that's what's so exciting about this, because I don't often get the opportunity to sit down and talk to people. I mean, influencers, and it's a dirty word. I think the reality is, you said it perfectly. This is your job. You make content. You are a content creator. That is the job title. The fact that you're influential is a helpful aspect of what you do, but I actually really like that it's not overanalyzed for you, because I think there is a slight desperation that I even feel in myself sometimes, and I really have to kind of pull back, which is you want to make this your job, you want to make this your career, you want to be a content creator, and so you do what it takes to make that possible, but people can smell that. And I reckon if you went down the path of every other post being ad, people would probably follow you less.
I'm lucky right now because I'm like pretty young. I haven't really come into this like late in life, so I don't really have any financial responsibilities. I live with my parents. They're probably gonna make me pay board, like,
sure, when they see how much money you can make from YouTube.
When they send me, maybe next year they'll make me pay board. But, for now, I don't have to pay board. So money is not really like the main goal for me. It's kind of just like having fun making the content that I like to make and building an audience from that.
Do you think that being young is really helpful? Because I imagine that if you had gone into the workforce and worked at a video production company and made videos and they taught you their process, that might cloud your ability to create.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. And it's definitely helped me make my own style of content. Because I've never really been taught like this is how a story works. This is like, you know, like what you learn in film school.
Yeah.
So I've kind of always just winged it, and from there I've been able to make my own kind of style, if that's what you want to call it.
So I'm going to call you an expert because you've amassed a lot of followers. You've figured something out. I'm sure people ask you this a lot, but what has been your keys to success that you would say to someone else, do this and you'll probably be successful too?
So make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. If you're just making videos because you want to get famous or like have people walking up to you in the street or make a lot of money, you're fucked from the start. Absolutely fucked. Like there's no way. If you hop on YouTube and look at like James Charles and like, oh, he's got a Tesla, like I want to become a YouTuber so I can have a Tesla. Nah, you're
not gonna work
from the start. Next is consistency, and that's what I struggle with, consistency, like
getting those videos out on a regular basis.
But you know, once you really get consistent, you'll just like skyrocket.
I mean, it is an algorithm. Like I don't think a lot of people think about the fact that the more people engage with a piece of content, the more likely they are to see your next piece of content.
Yeah, exactly. So consistency and passion are really important. And you know, with passion comes making videos that are true to you, instead of making things that you think are going to get the views. Because in my eyes, you're more likely to just enjoy and stay consistent if you're making content that you actually, you know, enjoy and approve of. So I think that's a big factor as well.
What's funny is at True, we work with brands. We don't work with influencers. We work with influencers to help brands, but brands are our clients. And the funny thing is we tell them the exact same things. Yeah. So it's interesting to hear you say that's been the key to your success, because every day we say to brands, you have to be consistent. Yeah. It needs to look and feel like the same brand. Every single post needs to be authentic to who you are. The moment it's not authentic, people can smell that. Modern consumers hate ads. They know exactly when they see an ad that is an ad, and they just keep scrolling. An ad that shocks them are ads that are authentic, and that's why people use influencers to sell product, because it's key to them.
It's a lot more authentic than just random ad popping up. Yeah. Cool.
Well, this was a really great conversation. One of the things we do on every single episode is we play a game.
Yeah.
Because it's a podcast, we're trying to have fun here, but what I really like doing is not telling the guests what the game is. So you're forced to deal with it on the spot.
Right. Yep, sounds good. Let's do it.
So we're playing a game called Could You Make This Boring Shit Cool?
Okay. Yeah.
It's tailored just for you. So I'm going to give you what I think are mundane things, and I want to know how... If I said to you, you have to make a video about this thing, could you do it?
Okay.
First thing, could you make an entire video on just drinking coffee?
Yeah, I could.
What would you do?
I'd see how many coffees I could drink before I passed out.
Okay, this is accidentally going to act as your content schedule for the next couple of months. You don't make some of these videos. I'll give you the paper. Could you make an entire video out of taking a shower?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'd do a video of just... random thoughts that you have in the shower. You know how you just come up with the weirdest shit when you're in the shower?
It's either on the toilet or in the shower.
You just come up, because there's a whole like Reddit page on shower thoughts, and it's just like the weirdest shit.
Okay, so there's your second video you're making. Could you do an entire video on taking a poop?
Yes.
Have you?
You could do a sequel of the shower thoughts on toilet thoughts.
Yes. Okay. This is great. Number 3. That's the video you're making. Could you make a video? Would you make a video getting in a fight with your girlfriend?
Would I or could I?
Would you and could you? But would you is my first question, because that's interesting.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Good.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
But if you had to, what would you do? How would you do it appropriately?
I would do a physical WWE fight. Smackdown.
You're going to do... I want a Jell-O or like a mud pit, and I want you guys going at
WWE trick shots into a pool.
Okay.
Off a 10-meter diving board.
Done. I have a feeling she might beat you up.
Come on. I got a video idea.
Could you do an entire video on a plane?
Yes.
The entire video? What about 100% in economy back of a Jetstar
in economy?
flight?
Yeah, because I reckon that I on a Jetstar flight specifically, I would get like the longest Jetstar flight I possibly could and just like sit in the shittest possible spot I could and just like record it. And
so remember that proposal we talked about earlier? You're making a Jetstar one after you leave
Jetstar?
Here. Are you listening, Jetstar? We're going to clip this for you. Okay. Writing an essay for uni. Could you do an entire video on something so boring like writing an essay?
Oh, man.
That one will be tricky.
That's probably the hardest one because that's just something I have no patience for whatsoever. Yeah. I could sit in an airplane seat for like 11 hours straight, just like
chilling, watching videos.
At least I'm getting a video out of this. But if it's just like writing an essay, maybe not, or maybe I'll do a video on how to bullshit your way through an entire essay without actually making any sense whatsoever. Because that's what I did in year 12 anyway.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Or here are the 100 things I did instead of writing my essay when I should have been. It's like a procrastination video.
Yeah.
I'm in your creative team now, by the way. So I expect a small percentage.
I'm going to have to hire you.
Yeah, exactly. True. Last thing. Could you make an entire video taking out the trash?
Yeah.
What would you do with that?
Trash trick shots.
Oh, sick. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of these weren't like real clickbait winners, but I think half of them could really make you.
How did I go?
No, these were great. Yes. I was interested. Like what I liked best is that you didn't overanalyze it. You were just like, this is what I would do. Because what I would end up sitting down is like drinking coffee. Must do research on the coffee community. And that's the problem that people get into is you overanalyze what people are going to like instead of saying, this is what I want to make. Yeah. And that's why they're going to look at it.
I have to make a mental note. How many coffees can I drink before I overdose on caffeine?
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. So the last thing we do is we talk about internet obsessions. Every single week we say, here are the things that we're obsessed with on the internet. So I'm going to give you some time to think about it because I'm going to go first. I have never done a shameless plug, but it's my damn show. And so I'm doing a shameless plug.
It's time to do it.
But I'm doing a shameless plug because since starting this podcast, since the very first episode, when we interviewed Lindy Cohen, looking at my producer, that's correct, we had a really beautiful conversation about authenticity on social. Yeah. And since following her, since that first interview, I've become quite addicted to people who break the mold and just show like not beautiful things, just like the reality of the before and afters, or just this is me crying, or this is what I look like in the morning. And so I have done a lot of soul searching. It's completely because of this podcast. And so today I announced a new hashtag that I'm starting and a kind of new initiative, and people are already getting on, and it's camera roll reality. Only because I've started to notice some of the people I follow post photos that aren't beautiful. Yeah, it's just like an actual moment of their life, like a little blurry, or the eyes are closed. And yes, when you're thinking of curating a gorgeous National Geographic page, this is not that. This is not going to probably amass you the hundreds of thousands of followers, but there is something really beautiful about authenticity. Yeah. And so I'm pushing myself on a weekly basis to post the photos that I normally am like, no, people aren't going to like that. Not a good enough smile. And instead, without editing or anything, I'm just going to upload that with the hashtag camera roll reality. And I want other people to do it. You can't tag brands. You can't tag your friends. You can't use hashtags to get people to look at it. It just has to be
you, just like mid sneeze.
I just want the reality. And the thing is, my producer literally commented like, well, you have a new iPhone, so your photos are all beautiful. And that might be the case.
It's not the iPhone, don't worry. It's the face.
Oh. Thank you. It's my daughter, but I'm going to take that as a big compliment. But I feel like those shots are things that people, even when they are beautiful, like the photo that I posted is actually a beautiful shot. Yeah. But my daughter's eyes are closed and her fingers are in her mouth and her fingers are in her hair. And so when I am a part of the Instagram generation, I'm clouded by not perfect, not exactly right. Yeah. And so I scroll past it and I just want to cut that shit out because I'm not sure that anyone is actually interested in just the beautiful smile shot. Okay, so that's my internet obsession. What's yours?
My internet obsession personally, or like what I'm just obsessed with
this
like
week,
watching or anything?
Just this week. It can be an app. It can be a hashtag. It can be a person.
I'm obsessed with watching van life YouTube videos. Do you watch that as well?
How good is it? Obsessed with that new girl. There's this girl who amassed in 2 videos.
Oh, like 1 million subs. Yeah. I've seen.
She has a snake named Alfredo. Yeah. I've watched every single one. I mean, why van videos? Why are people so into it?
I have no idea, but like I'm addicted to watching it.
There's something really cool about being real and just like doing it rogue.
Like it's this weird dream of mine to like buy a van and like deck it out and just like travel around Australia or even go up to like Europe and stuff like that in a van.
Maybe
and
you
live in
could
it.
create a proposal and pitch it to a van company.
Mercedes-Benz.
Whoa, are you listening? Also, you should just do it anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what I like about that girl, and I'm so mad can't remember her name right now. Janelle, Jann. I know that she has 2 N's in her first name. We're gonna go with Janelle if you're listening, and your Snake Alfredo, and your Snake's Alfredo's new crib that you just did all badass. But there's something really special about someone. I think we're all interested right now in people who are taking alternative lifestyles.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to have a job. You don't need to have a house. What you need to do is something that you really like.
Yeah, and I think I like the concept of like, how much materialistic things do you really need to be happy? So these people have just got like a van and that's it. And they're like stoked on
Living
life.
their dream, yeah.
I watched a guy that's like been living in a combi for the past like 5 years, and he's traveled from the bottom of South America all the way up to Alaska on like the longest road in the world.
Wow.
And I've watched every single one of his videos, and some days he's sharing this tiny combi with like 6 people at once.
Wow.
And just like meeting all these new people on the road. But yeah, I mean, like it makes you question, like, do I really need all these fancy things to be stoked on life?
Sounds like the answer is absolutely not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
I've had a fun time.
Great. This show is a True Originals production. Clickbait is produced by Lily Brown, Olivia Salone, and me. This week, our episode was shot and edited by Ramon Minchero. Brand identity was made by Tiffany Han. Music was mixed and designed by Olivia Salone. Social media content was created and written by Tiffany Han and Taylor Barnes. Our fearless leader, Eric Stevens, oversaw the entire show, and a very big special thank you to Ben for being our guest.
Thank you.
For more information about future episodes of Clickbait or past ones, just go and follow True Sydney on either Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. And while you're at it, just hit subscribe. Come on, give us 5 stars. Put my name in the review. Put Ben's name in the review. It's just like a minute or 2 of your time, and it's going to help us get this message, these sick conversations out into the world. We will see you next week.
See you next week.